What is going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. We got a special one today. I've been excited to talk about these sneakers that actually don't come out until September, but thankfully somebody put a pair on GOAT that actually had them available early where I was able to get them from. These have been highly talked about, but not just because of what they are or their incredible inspiration, but because it's another chapter in the great debate about whether or not men can wear women's shoes. Without further ado, let's get into it. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Women's Air Jordan 1 Around the Way Girl. These are so good. There's so much to talk about with these, and we're gonna try to get through these as fast as we possibly can. But listen, first impressions, I get it, fellas. Like, it's a good looking shoe. We're gonna look at just how good they are in a second, but I actually want to give you guys a little bit of the inspiration before we get into the shoe, because I feel like if you're not totally familiar with these, it'll help you appreciate them that much more. You guys have pretty much all heard of LL Cool J. We all know that he's a famous rapper from back in the day, but if you're a real deal fan of LL Cool J and you kind of follow his career, you remember that even though he was really hot in the 1980s and he came out with songs like I Need Love and I'm Bad, around the end of the 80s and into 1990, he was still working on finding his sound. There were a lot of other artists that were coming out, a lot of other rappers that were coming out. And LL Cool J, even though there was a lot of hardcore gangster rap that was actually objectifying women in a very negative way, his third single from his fourth album, Mama Said Knock You Out, was a song called Around the Way Girl. That song became a smash. It's a cult classic. It's like Back That Thing Up by Juvenile. It's one of those songs that I really feel like is timeless. It feels like the early 90s, but people are still gonna hit the dance floor to it in 2022 like they just heard it for the first time. It's empowering, it's complimentary, and most of all, it's relatable. In the video, LL Cool J starts off by looking at women for his new video, and they're all these really done up models, and he keeps talking about how he doesn't want a really glamorous model type woman. He really just wants a regular woman from around the way, from around the corner, from around his block or his neighborhood, that's sweet, that's nice, and isn't really trying to be super glamorous out here. That was his idea, and that idea was the direct inspiration by Frank Cook and the people over at the women's team for Jordan brand. A lot of incredible women designers were on this sneaker as well. That was the direct inspiration, that Around the Way Girl video. All right, enough backstory, let's get into the shoe. All right, starting with the upper of the shoe. Now, two things that I want to talk about on the shoe. First of all, I love the way that they actually did the denim. We've seen denim on other sneakers before, but not quite like this. This really does feel like a pair of jeans. I love the frayed edges all along the jeans here. You see you got the denim all on the collar, on the swoosh even, it's all denim. It just looks all cut like they directly cut it out from a pair of jeans from back in the day. Not only that, but you guys also see that you have the denim hang tag here, the women's hang tag with the red Nike Air as well. Really, really nicely done. Denim patch on the white wings logo on the lateral side of the shoe too, very nicely done. But we've really got to talk about this leather on the collar of the shoe. This is really, really nice leather. They chose an extremely soft leather for this shoe. This white leather in the quarter panels and on the toe box and around the collar. Very nicely done. Ladies, when you wear these, you're gonna be very comfortable in them. Taking the top down, look at the shoe here. Really nice leather on that toe box. You guys can see exactly how soft that leather is. But let's get into these. Let's get into the dubras on these, because these are a big deal. On the left shoe, you'll notice that this looks like a gold earring with a Jumpman in it. On the right shoe, you have the gold earring dubra that has the word Jordan in it. Those dubras actually pay homage to the first set of lyrics and probably the most famous lyrics in Around the Way Girl. I want a girl with extensions in her hair and bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. A lot of times that's like all the lyrics that people know from the song, but you know, still classic lyrics. So again, in keeping with the theme of the denim from the 90s that a lot of the women were actually wearing, if you remember in the early 90s, a lot of people wore airbrush denim, and there's a lot of women wearing denim in the video, and the bamboo earrings, the gold big bamboo hoop earrings that women, especially on the East Coast, used to wear back in the early 90s. Now that's also shown on the paper inside of the box as well. You guys see here, kind of looks like that rope chain, and one of the women actually had a rope chain on in the video along with her bamboo earrings, and you see the bamboo earrings with the Nike Air, and the Jumpman is right there on the paper as well. So very nicely done with the entire presentation from the paper to the shoe itself. All right, getting back to the shoe here, white midsole, really, really clean aesthetic with the denim and the white with the little hits of gold. On the outsole of the shoe, you have that same light blue color, looking like blue jeans. So I really feel like they made this to literally match the denim on the upper of the shoe as well. Really nice. And on the insole of the shoe here, red insole with that gold hit of the Nike Air matching the red and gold hits on on the paper as well. So very, very clean. You're also gonna get an extra set of red laces in addition to the white laces that come standard with the shoe as well. So you can decide whether you wanna throw the red in there or keep it clean with the white. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Around the Way Girl Air Jordan 1s. Now, here's the thing about the shoe. The shoe itself is very simple, but it's really well done. The problem is that because it's so well done, I've noticed that a lot of men want the women's shoe, despite the fact that it's literally called the Around the Way Girl. It's been a struggle lately for women actually getting the sneakers and being able to wear the sneakers that are intentionally made for them. We've done this so many times before. We've done a few videos on the channel before talking about how I wish that men would let women have more of the sneakers that are designed for them. And yet everybody just keeps saying, forget that, man. If they're nice, I want them. And I understand. A lot of people, they want this shoe, they want to take this off, and they just want to rock a Denim Air Jordan 1. Listen, I got it. I'm not mad at it per se. I just wish that as the brand gets more blatant with the messaging in the shoes and who they're designed for, that we just left a little bit of room to let the women at least have first crack at these sneakers that they wanted. I guess that's kind of my rant for the day. That's my thought for the day. I don't understand why we can't just let women have things. Like, I understand that in the sneaker industry, a lot of men don't like women that much. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. But again, I just wish that we could be a little bit more respectful when it came to letting the women have the sneakers that they want, especially a sneaker like this that speaks to culture. It speaks to the beginnings of what sneaker culture became and how a lot of the staples of fashion back in the early 90s contributed to the sneaker culture being what it became. A lot of the things that people were doing and wearing back then, people drew inspiration from that, and to this day are still incorporating that early 90s inspiration from male and female fashion into a lot of the things that we're wearing these days. So these speak to a lot more than just being a cool looking Air Jordan 1. Like, these really speak to culture. Like, I know we talk about gatekeeping isn't a good thing all the time, but I'm not gonna fry. I kind of wish that we gatekept these a little bit more. I take that back. I wish that women had the ability to gatekeep this sneaker a little bit more because they deserve to have it. Like, if you were a fan of LL Cool J, then you're gonna want these. If you're a fan of early 90s hip hop, then you're gonna want these. If you're a woman, you might want these. And it's a shame that there's a lot of men out there that are gonna overlook all of that because all they see is a Denim Air Jordan 1 that they think would look good on their feet. There's a lot of nuance to this argument. There's a lot of people out here that say, hey, women like grade school shoes, or why should women only get women's shoes and men's shoes? There are men's shoes. Does that mean that men can only have them? Listen, the harsh reality is men have been getting what we want for a very long time in sneakers. And it's crazy that by the time Jordan Brand actually established a women's division that men used to not want the sneakers, they finally came out with some heat that reflected what a lot of the women wanted. A lot of women were tired of the shrink it and pink it situation. They didn't want sneakers that had sparkles and pink glistening on it and stuff like that. They wanted sneakers that were around the way. They wanted sneakers that looked like the stuff that the guys were rocking. The women back in the day, they were a little tomboyish. That's what Around the Way Girl is all about. And these sneakers directly reflect that. And they finally start getting that, and then the men all swoop in on it and grab it up from them. Where's the respect in the sneaker industry when it comes to women? You know, I've been going back and forth all day on social media with people about a reel that came up that Soul Savvy did about women in sneakers, something like what's the most attractive sneaker on a woman or something like that. And I've been going back and forth with people all day long about the fact that women should just be respected and left alone in sneakers. And there's a lot of people that have been like, no, we don't want to do that. It's weird out here. It's a weird time in sneakers where we can't even let women have the things that women want. And again, I'm not even saying that, you know, women can only touch these. I just wish that at least women had first crack at these. I just wish that women had the ability to get them if they wanted them. And then if they passed on them, then go ahead and let the men have them. That's it, because men surely do that for all the men's sneakers. We grab up everything that we want first, and then we leave everything else for the grade school or for whoever wants it after that. Why can't it be the same thing for women? Why can't women have first crack at something, and then if there's a woman's shoe that they don't want, then leave it for the men to have? In any event, I don't want to rant too long about that or how I feel about that. I just think it's kind of wild that, yes, this is a really good looking sneaker, but it's called the Around the Way Girl for a reason. It's made for women. to represent a song about women from a rapper that really loved women, whose name was literally Ladies Love Cool J. This is a women's shoe. And once again, I'm going to say, I hope that the women that want these sneakers can get their hands on them, and maybe one day we'll learn to respect women equally. Maybe. All right, guys, that's pretty much all that I got to say about these. Now it's time for you guys to sound off down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Around the Way Girl Air Jordan 1s. Are these ones that you have on your radar? Are you going to buy these for the woman in your life? Or are you going to try to grab these up yourself? There are no wrong answers here. I respect everything that everybody has to say. I'm just one man with one man's opinion. Now I'm interested to hear yours. Sound off down below. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the Sneaker Fetish family, to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. By the way, before I get up out of here, these aren't for me. These are actually something that I got in from GOAT, and I'm passing these along to a female friend of mine. So before the comments go crazy on that, this is not my pair. These are going to a nice home of a nice young woman. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on Sneaker Fetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is the Air Jordan 1 Women's Around the Way Girl. And until next time, I'm out.